Good afternoon, good evening, Facebook world. This is Justin Sandler coming to you live for the first time since returning home from a splendid 2-week holiday stay at UCLA Ronald Reagan Hospital in Westwood. Back here in the yard with the cats, enjoying the fresh air. Something I didn't get to do for a while. Actually, I didn't breathe any fresh air for 2 straight weeks while being in the hospital. I've been home now this is my third day home? Third actual day home. Yeah, I guess that's it. So I'm back, and it's nice to be home and be amongst my loved family and wife and cats and comfortable surroundings. Of course, the reason I titled today's video the way I did, it's good to be home from the hospital, but is it? Because I wanted to discuss how I'm doing right now, because a lot of people are asking. And also, I wanted to go over what it's like to come home again from the hospital, and why every time I've come home after staying in the hospital, it's had its own set of unique challenges that I've had to sort of deal with and overcome. And this time has had its own challenges that even had some that were different from before. So without further ado, over the summer I did chemotherapy treatments where I would live at the hospital for a week doing my chemo, and then I would come home and transition out of that for about 2 weeks. It would take me a good week to recover from the last round of chemo, followed by about a week of getting back to some strength, and then I'd go check back in. Then I had my surgery where I was there for a good week after my main surgery, and then I came home unable to do anything for myself, and that was really rough because I had round-the-clock care helping with every little detail, and then I was home where I just had, I didn't just have, but I had Mary Lou by herself essentially, where I wasn't even able to sit up or get up or move my head or anything, and so that had its own set of challenges. Now this time around really seems to me, and it feels in my heart, like I think we've hit the end, and I think when I say the end, I mean we'll still have, of course, lots of tests and follow-ups over the coming year and more, but as far as hospital stays and things like that, I feel like we've nipped everything in the bud, so to speak. Like the last couple surgeries were really successful, and that any problem that could have presented itself has been covered, and any signs of cancer have been ruled out. So great, all those are awesome. What I realized this time was I was actually in the hospital for the longest that I've been in any one of my stays over the course of this year. I think I've spent a total of 45 days in the hospital total this year, and this last time was 12 days, and that was the longest stay. And it's interesting because you get sort of used to this hospital way of life, where anything you need is a call button away. And anytime you feel any kind of ache or pain or something concerning, someone will come running in and you find out exactly what it is. Your medicines are very much under control. Your pain is very much under control. You're looked after. Everything you need is there. And then one day they just say, okay, you're good to go. See you later. And now you're home, which is, in one sense, great because you've got your family, your cats, if you're me, your own bed, which of course is really nice. But on the other side of things, you don't have that. If something feels off or weird, you can't just hit the buzzer and have it checked out. Now it's discussions, whether is this really weird and just something I'm dealing with. Like the other day I coughed, for example, and I coughed up some blood. Like, is this something I should be concerned about? And now it's the decision where, is this enough of a reason to run over to the ER and spend in the next 8 hours, being checked out at the ER, or is just a little, this is something, residual from the surgery or whatever. And so, when you've gone through so many things and had so many issues, you question whether or not you should have it checked out. Of course, you don't want to take a chance, but at the same time, going to the ER is not fun. You gotta, like you said, you're there for 8 hours minimum, and so, you have to outweigh. And unfortunately, when I coughed up that blood, I think it was actually residual from my throat, as a matter of fact, because they had a huge tube down my throat, which caused some irritation, and that I think has left, my throat's been sore literally for 2 weeks now. That's why it's hurting to talk a little bit. But so that's one thing. The other thing is, and I don't know exactly if this is PTSD, but I really, if I had to put a description on some kind of post-traumatic stress, this would be it. Because the first full day that I was home, I wasn't just having little bits of anxiety, I was actually having flashbacks of experiences from before. What I mean by that is when I woke up in the morning, I was really nauseous, something I hadn't actually been this last hospital stay. But when was the last time I was really nauseous? Well, that was typically after my last couple rounds of chemo. I felt nauseous, I felt bloated, which I also was after getting all the chemo and all the liquids. And I literally, there was times when I was flashing and I thought that I was literally completely bald again, and that I had just gotten home from my last round of chemo, and I was feeling the aches and pains from the chemo and the nausea, and that I was just getting ready to either go back in for another round or getting ready to go into my surgery again in a couple weeks. And I literally, there was times throughout the day where it was very confusing. Maybe part of that comes from the experiences I had, part of it comes from the amount of heavy medications and painkillers they had me on, but I literally had confusion where I thought I was literally back in the throes of my chemo days with no eyebrows and no hair and everything. And it was literally tweaking me out a little bit. Even Mary Lou was asking if she should have someone come and stay with me because she had to go do a shoot for a client. And I was having flashbacks of visitors coming when I enjoyed having the visitors, but there was a couple times near the end where people just kept coming and asking me to talk about my cancer over and over, and it was so intense that I didn't want to talk about it. And I was like, no, I don't want anybody coming. I don't want to talk about my cancer. I literally thought that I was back in the throes of it. So that was really interesting to experience, feeling like I was back there. Excuse me, it didn't last, which is good, but it makes that transition coming home very interesting when you're having flashbacks of things that have happened when it's been so heavy and sometimes traumatic that you're experiencing them here at home. And then the other thing is that they have you on a really good regimen of pain medication, which cuts off when you leave. You're on some pills and things, but it's a lot less and a lot less frequent, and so you start to feel a lot more of the aches and pains and things you didn't actually feel in the hospital. And you're wondering, is that normal? Is that real? Do I need more pain meds? Is it safe? And you start to question all those things. So yeah, is it good to be home from the hospital? Yes, of course, it's great to be home. I've had a couple nights of sleep in my own bed, which is nice. Cats snuggling on me, my own area to chill. I don't have nurses and care partners coming in every 2 hours to take my blood or test my vitals or ask me these questions, but it had a set of challenges transitioning out of this last round, more so than I've experienced before. But all in all, that seems to have passed, and I am here. I am feeling pretty good, all things considered. I'm actually, after I get off here with you guys, I'm about to go for a walk and get a little exercise. All I can do really right now is just some walks, but hey, that's pretty good. Doing my little breathing exercises, of course, to keep the lungs expanding. My appetite was really bad in the first day when I was having all that nausea. Excuse me. But it's been a little better over the last 2 days, so I'm eating pretty well, and I'm resting. Yes, I'm resting. I'm not overdoing it. Took care of some bills and things like that, but aside from that, been laying on the couch, watching some Netflix, doing all that. But surgically wise, things seem to be healing okay. The pain seems to be under control. I've got my oxys, of course, and I'm trying to taper those off already. But hey, while I have you on there, I'll show you what we did if you want to see. It's not too gruesome, but if you really can't stand the sight of anything on a body, then now's your chance to turn off or look away. But what the hell? Let's do some show and tell, shall we? And then I'll get out of here. So here's what we got. Oh, look, it's my body. It doesn't look like it used to, does it? So we got the old scars, of course, from all the tubes here. And then, oh, check this out. All these black and blue marks here from my heparin shots all over my gut. I swear I'm going to have my six-pack back when I'm all done with this. But hey, for right now, I'll accept what I got. Okay, what else? Here's where they did the incisions. All right. So we got all of these back here. So they went in through the backside. See, through these incisions here, where the steri strips are. And what they did is they went in and deflated my lung from back here and then operated up here in the front. I had a tube coming out of here, and the nasty one is this one right here. Whoa. I had a big old chest tube coming out of right there. That thing hurt like hell. Of course, the drain was out here in the front. So that's kind of the damage. Still got some sticky stuff from the heart monitors and all that, but relatively speaking, hey, I look pretty damn good for having gone through a year of cancer and surgeries, right? So yeah, show and tell. But we'll get it back. We'll get back to go to the gym again soon. We'll get this body yoked sooner than you think. And the road to recovery is starting now, just in time for New Year's. So that's the update. All is good in the hood. From my cats to y'all, hope you're having a great second to last day of 2017. Looking forward to an amazing next year. Lots of health, happiness, and love. I'm gonna go take a walk now and enjoy the rest of this beautiful day. It is nice here. For those of you living in other parts of this country where the temperatures are in the negatives, I'm sorry. Stay warm though. Anyways, until we meet again, you guys have a great rest of your day. Hi, Mary Lou. Okay, guys. See ya.